What's up, guys? This is Ken with Havoc Outdoors, bringing you the Muley Freak bino harness. Now, we're going to go over the OG, the Stealth, and the Game Changer. We're going to see what's actually changed over the years, what's gotten better, what's stayed the same, if anything. And then we're going to compare the two. I'm going to see really how this one's going to be put through its paces, and I'll tell you some stories behind this one. Let's get into it. Now, first on up, I'm going to talk to you about the OG, the original, right? This thing has been put through hell and back between hunting Colorado, Utah, California, archery tournaments through every state I could think of. Now, the OG fit my 8x42s just fine, 10x42s just fine. And originally came with its own rain cover. Provided a lens cleaner, which still works. Front pouch, I kept everything in here, so pencils, pens, my tags, my game calls, anything between hunting, tournaments, all the fun stuff, right? Now, this pouch got taken out on the newer versions, but they're in other places now. Still got pieces in here. I mean, I've used this harness for everything you could think of. The patch itself, the patch hasn't come off since I got it. So that logo is still as clean as ever. The patch is almost 10 years old and hasn't faded, hasn't worn out, hasn't cracked. There's nothing wrong with it. I can still smell the dough and heat on it, but it hasn't broken. So I use this hunting elk at 13,000 feet, 12,000 feet, you name it. It was quiet, it was simple, it did everything I needed it to. So we'll start off real quick. With the harness itself. Now the original model, which I have here, a little bit thinner. It is a mesh. They have their logo on the back. Looks slick. But the nice thing is that this fit between my shoulder blades perfectly. And it was comfortable. I didn't have to worry about it. Now, in the new model, the Game Changer, it's a little bit thicker and a little bit more comfortable and usable. The straps, you can tell, still the nylon straps, are a little thinner. The new Game Changer, they are thicker, so they will help you out in your shoulders and your sides. The buckles themselves have gotten larger compared to the OG, which is the Stealth here. Now, funny thing is, so I got a rain cover, but I never used it because this thing was water resistant beyond anything I needed. Still, to this day, it is still water resistant. So I've had it in rain, I've had it in snow, mud, rivers, creeks. Never had an issue. Now, the OG still has that actual back pouch that the new one has. However, they changed up how this cover actually works on the Game Changer. So originally this thing was still tied to the actual backing. Still got a little bit of cushion here. It's still rigid as all hell. Can't really, complain about everything this pack has done for me. This harness has done more for me in hunting than most of the other ones I've ever used. Now, side pouches, yes, you could carry these on the sides if you wanted to, your actual rain cover and your lens cleaner. You could also attach it to anywhere on the pack that you wanted. But I found something else out with this pack. Right? Depending on where you're at, what you're doing, and your clothing, you can set this thing up to where it's almost an immediate adjustment, depending on what you need. And it's light. It's so freaking durable. But, as they say, things change. new materials, new technology, new designs. And they all grow up, right? Most of the time I think of this stuff as like ideas that you put in, and once your child starts growing, really taking root, you can see this thing do whatever you want. Well, let's see what happened. Now we have the game changer, right? 3 very distinct sections. It is a system, okay? You can buy the harness itself without the pouches and buy them later if you want, or you can buy the whole thing like I did, and it's worth every penny. So, like I said, the OG fit my 8 and 10 by 42s, but the game changer fits my 12 by 50s now. And thank you, Vortex. These things are going to get used like all hell. Now, one thing I do want to show you, really demonstrate what's changed over the years. Here's your Stealth. Oh, okay. So you tell me, anything different? I thought that was crazy. I put it on, like, no way. Yep. It fits my Stealth without any issues. So the Cordura insert, the interior of the actual pouch, it's cushioned, it's rigid, it's going to protect any object you put in here. Okay, so the tie downs, if you use the lanyards that are attached to your binos, as you can tell, I never touch them. But for those folks that really do feel more, protected, safe by having your binos attached, it's ready for you. Now, one thing I thought was interesting is, remember how I said that this actual cover is attached, right? Doesn't really break away from the entire harness. Well, Muley Freak came up with a new way of having the actual cords that are attached to the base stand alone away from the actual bino case. So check this out. So it folds down all the way out of the way, so you don't have to worry about it getting snug, pulling it forward, and then just trying to fight it to get your binos out. Now it's just, grab and play. You're good to go. Now, there's 2 little pouches in the front, and you got the standard zip. I've got my mouth calls here. You have a kangaroo pouch in the front right here, so if you need to slip anything in, you can. There's also a pouch on the back here, so if you need to slip pens, pencils, anything like that in there, you can. Your tags, whatever you want to hold. Now, what's interesting is this one folds out and forward, so you still have a full pouch in the front. And there's pouches on the side, so you can put anything you want in here. So a lot of the times I do put pens and pencils here, so that'll sit underneath the actual covering. So if we're at a tournament for 3D and something comes up, rain starts happening, everything still doesn't get wet. Now, as you can see, I'll talk to you right now about this new harness. So the backing of this harness, I showed you before. The OG was thinner, right? A little bit longer, fit very well between the shoulder blades. Now this is geared around everything around your shoulder blades. So these pockets here, these cutouts, doesn't actually pull anywhere. It doesn't get caught and snagged. So when you got your pack on, you don't have to worry about it. The buckles themselves are, I want to say about, 25% larger than they were on the OG. The straps are about 25% thicker, 25% wider, so you don't get a lot of the pinching effects that you might get with some thinner straps. Now the ends are actually tied into loops, which actually have a purpose now. So originally they were smaller, about yay big, they actually just cut off. Now, one of the ways I've used this is to actually tie something onto it to where it's like a 550 cord hanging off, and I can use that to crank down and tighten everything up if I need to. Now, the accessories, right? I talked to you about the accessory pouches. So you got the standard accessory pouch and the rangefinder pouch. So what's interesting is the rangefinder pouch itself has the same kind of opening as the main compartment. So they get out of the way, you don't have to worry about it. It is still attached, but it is a standalone compartment. So when I take my rangefinder out, this actual place, this actual gap, this whole area here to hold it, the holster. So it's fixed. It's not going to go anywhere. It's got Cordura in it as well, and it is rigid. I mean, super freaking rigid. I got a Leupold RX 1400 here. Comes with a lanyard. So just in case you do drop it, you know, I don't have one for my binos, but I got it from a rangefinder because, yeah. Very, very durable. You don't have to worry about any damages. It'll keep your optics safe, and it's a quiet closure as well. Then we got the accessory pouch here, right? Well, you can use this to hold anything you want. Tools, which I take when I hunt, or if it's archery tournament season, like 3D, I keep my arrow lube in there, and I'll probably keep Allen wrench set in there, but I do keep something special in here. So I do like to have some fun when whenever we go out and do tournaments. So whoever's losing, who's ever crying, whatever, they get the binky for the day. I mean, you gotta have some fun while you do tournaments, right? I just like, oh, how can I do this? So if you see me out there, we're gonna be at TAC and Mountain Archery Fest and everything else. If you're messing up, you're gonna get the binky. Get ready. Now, these accessory pouches, oh, I guess I gotta put that back in here just in case. These accessory pouches, they are actually detachable and you can set them up any way you want. Now, if you notice, this actual strap stretch, so a big guy like me, it's even more comfortable because it'll tuck into my body. I don't have to worry about it, you know. I got a little bit of, you know, dad bod going on per se. But these are actually attachable on any side you want. And that's actually completed by, you get some hard, actual nylon loops here that feed in to your carabiners here, right? So you can put the carabiner on either side that you want and have that lock the actual pouch in place. So I have mine set up to where my rangefinder is on my left, my accessory pouch is on my right. Some people may ask me, like, why would I do that? You know, what's the purpose behind it? Well, if I'm using a rangefinder, which I only do it for long shots, I usually don't use it. I can usually guess where I need to be within about 2 yards. And then I like it on this side because then I'm actually focusing what I'm doing. So if I'm just holding my bow or holding a gun and then range finding and everything else, there's too many things going on. I've also got a thumb release that I use for my bow, so I don't want to have to keep swapping back and forth. This setup lets me do what I need to do. One of the best things I have ever seen on a bino harness, though, I don't like magnets. There's never been a single magnet in a Muley Freak. And if you notice, one of the biggest things we talk about, you know, the physics of it. So this is actually stitched at a certain angle, I'll tell you that. But this actually pulls these out and away, so it spreads across your back and your chest. Now the original didn't do that. The original just has your buckles in a vertical setting. So it tends to come right up into here. Well, with the new Game Changer, that's eliminated. So it actually comes out now. So now you don't got to worry about it. So it won't actually pinch down on your neck. It won't get caught in it'll actually be underneath your strap at a certain, well, not completely, just enough to where to hold it into place on your traps instead of being up against your neck and rubbing it raw. And by all means, I don't know if you guys have had chafe on your neck, that like super sucks. So the actual Game Changer for me. That's what I'll be running for the foreseeable future. I did see Eric's black and tan. Man, why you gotta make things look so sexy? Freaking black and tan looked awesome, just straight sexy. Now, I need to talk Cryptek. Cryptek, please get these guys some freaking patterns like the Obscura, because that's what I run. And Obscura Nox would be phenomenal on these packs. Oh, one can dream, right? One can dream. But get out there, get yourself a Muley Freak, get the game changer. This will allow you to do anything you need it to. This pack is almost 10 years old and it's still going strong. I just got the new Hotness, right? You're never going to be disappointed in this. The materials they use, everything, you'll never go wrong. I've used plenty of bino harnesses and I won't be going anywhere else. Alright guys, well, hope to see you out there. Remember, we'll be out at all the tournaments. If you see me out there, you hang out, talk to me. I like, just sit down, shoot the shit, and have a good old time. Alright guys, I'm Ken, this is Havoc Outdoors, and the Muley Freak.